Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Mike.
Today we're talking about 3D glasses, a story in red and blue.
Red and blue 3D glasses. I remember those.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, buying a magazine that had some cardboard 3D glasses inside, so you could look at pictures of dinosaurs in the magazine in 3D.
That must have been so cool when you were 7 years old.
It was very cool.
I think I was around 7 years old and I saw a 3D movie, the first one I ever saw in one of those IMAX movie theaters where the screen is huge. And we wore 3D glasses that were red and blue, and if you took them off, the picture you would see would be a little bit off, and it would also kind of be red and blue. Now today, 3D movies are still something people see. They're not as popular now as a few years ago, and they're not red and blue anymore. They're just sort of a little bit dark, like sunglasses. That's the 3D glasses we use now. So this is an interesting thing. Yeah, when did they change? When we were young, they were red and blue. Now they're not. But we still watch 3D movies in the same way, but different glasses.
I even went to Computex in Taipei this year.
Okay.
And there they even had a computer monitor that was 3D, and you don't need to wear 3D glasses at all.
Excuse me? How does that work?
Well, you need to be exactly in the right place. So you need to be the right distance from the screen, and you can't really move side to side or it doesn't work.
And if it was two people playing a game, it probably
wouldn't work.
Interesting, but that's a nice idea. If you've watched a movie with the 3D glasses, they can get a little uncomfortable. So that would be an interesting thing. So let's find out about a little bit of the history of 3D glasses, and especially about when 3D glasses were red and blue. Question: how do 3D movies work? A. By showing only images in red. B. By showing two videos at different speeds. C. By showing two images at the same time. D. By showing the same image from different distances. People like to go to the movies to see impossible things happen on the screen. 3D movies can make these things feel so real that you want to reach out and touch them. 3D technology works by showing two separate images at once. In the early days, one image was red and the other was blue. That's why audiences wore those funny red and blue glasses. The red lens blocked all the blue light, and the blue lens blocked all the red. This meant that each eye saw a slightly different image at the same time. When our brains combined the two, the movie looked like it was coming out of the screen. All right, so yes, 3D glasses, a story in red and blue is our title. We're actually not really reading an article today. It's more like a question or a quiz or something like that. Don't worry, there will be no grades for right or wrong answers. We just want to sort of give you some ideas and get you thinking about our question. So let's get that question now.
All right, our question is, how do 3D movies work? A. By showing only images in red. B. By showing two videos at different speeds. C. By showing two images at the same time. Or D. By showing the same image from different distances.
Interesting. So let's see what it says here. People like to go to the movies to see impossible things happen on the screen. Absolutely. 3D movies can make these things feel so real that you want to reach out and touch them. Yeah, it's amazing that we use 3D technology to make action movies, science fiction movies, exciting things where you want to see impossible things happening on the screen, spaceships fighting, superheroes flying around, and of course, if it's 3D, if it jumps out at you, this just makes the audience more exciting, makes the experience more special. Thinking about that first
first 3D movie I saw as a kid, I remember very clearly a robot's arm reached out holding an egg. And it seemed to be coming right out at you. And then the robot cracked the egg and everything fell out. And I remember many people watching it went like this, like they were going to have egg on their legs. It was so real the way the action and the things happening jumped out and became almost real. Back to the article, 3D technology works by showing two separate images at once. Okay, we kind of looked at that in a few of our choices for the answer to the question, didn't we? Some of them had separate images by color or distance or speed. Separate just means not together. Something that could be together or maybe was together, but now it is in two parts or in smaller parts. It has been broken up, all right? We can also use this as a verb. To break something up or to cut it is to separate something. And if I separate a pizza, for example, in two, I will have two separate pieces of pizza, half of the pizza. They are separate. They are no longer joined together, or they are being done with two things instead of one. Two or more. For example, we drove to the supermarket in two separate cars. So maybe two people know each other, but there's one person in one car, one in another. Maybe they're buying a lot of things that day. They need two cars to do it. All right, so let's get back to our article and try to find the answer to our question.
So, how do 3D movies work? The answer is C. By showing two images at the same time.
Yeah, I'm thinking of when I would take the glasses off. It always looks like the image is just a little bit next to the other one. Not at the different speed, not in different sizes. So yeah, C, I think, makes sense.
In the early days, one image was red and the other was blue. That's why audiences wore those funny red and blue glasses. Okay, so the audience in this case is a group of people watching a performance or watching a public event. So in this case, it's watching a movie. So the people sitting in the movie theater make up the audience. They're the people enjoying the movie. And back in these days, they were the people wearing those red and blue 3D glasses. Okay, so for example, the audience sang along to the singer's greatest hits.
Oh, okay. The people watching the show, the audience, were having a great time. So how did this work? It says the red lens blocked all the blue light and the blue lens blocked all the red. This meant that each eye saw a slightly different image at the same time. This basically works by tricking your brain into seeing something as 3D when it's really just a flat picture. And the secret is the lens of those glasses. Now, when we talk about glasses, we would usually be looking at two different lenses make up a pair of glasses. The lens being that special kind of glass that we have in our glasses or in something that helps us to see better. So here's an example. Oh no, the right lens of my glasses is broken. My glasses are only working at 50%. Gotta get them fixed.
When our brains combine the two, that's the two images they see, the movie looked like it was coming out of the screen. Okay, so to combine means to take two or more things and put them together to make another thing. So you're making something from two or more things by mixing them together. So for the example of the movie, they're putting the two images, the red image and the blue image together, which makes it look like it's a 3D movie. Another example, the movie combines action with an interesting story.
Okay, so it's not just fist fights and car chases. There's a good story in there too. Sounds like a great movie. Is it in 3D?
I hope so, but...
Yeah, well, we'll have to go check that out at the break. But we will be back with more about 3D glasses, red and blue.
Hello, Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。同学们喜欢看 3D 电影吗？我们今天的课程要来看看 3D 电影是如何运作的。先补充一下 3D。3D 它是 three-dimensional 的简写，是指立体的、三维的。那课文提到说 3D 技术是透过同时显示两个不同的影像来运作。在早期，一个影像是红色的，另一个则是蓝色的。这就是为什么观众会戴着滑稽的红蓝眼镜。这个红色镜片会阻挡所有的蓝光，蓝色镜片会阻挡所有的红光。那这意味着我们每只眼睛会同时看到略微不同的影像。当大脑把这两者结合时，电影看起来就像是从荧幕出来一样。好，单字 separate 它是形容词，形容不同的、各自的或是单独的。Audience 则是指观众、听众或是读者。Lens 它是指镜片、镜头。那注意它的复数形是 lenses。再来看到 combine 这个动词，它表示结合或者是使结合、合并。我们可以用 combine A with B 来表达使 A 与 B 结合。好，那这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是 at once 是副词片语，可以表达同时一起，或是表达立刻马上，也可以写作 all at once。例如 It's impossible to please everyone all at once。不可能同时取悦所有人的，所以我们不需要去勉强自己去满足所有人的期待。好，看到第二个重点是 look， 当连缀动词，它表示看起来。那以下介绍几个句型。第一个，我们可以用 look 加形容词，像 The palace looks majestic， 那座皇宫看起来雄伟壮丽。第二个，我们可以用 look like 加名词，像 The hotel looks like a medieval castle， 那间饭店看起来像中世纪的城堡。第三个，我们可以用 look like 或是 look as if 加上主词加动词，例如 You look like you haven't slept all night， 你看起来像整晚没睡耶。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
However, colored glasses always made movies look strange. That's why modern 3D glasses use clear, polarized lenses. For these glasses, one lens blocks out vertical light and the other blocks horizontal light. Once again, your brain connects the two pictures and makes things look three-dimensional. So the next time you watch a 3D movie, appreciate your brain for doing all the hard work.
All right, so we're talking about how 3D glasses work, and the original ones had two colors, red and blue, right? But that's not the way they work now.
Right. However, colored glasses always made movies look strange.
Yeah, red and blue.
That's why modern 3D glasses use clear, polarized lenses. For these glasses, one lens blocks out vertical light, and the other blocks out horizontal light.
Interesting. I didn't know that's how they worked.
Once again, your brain connects the two pictures and makes things look three-dimensional.
Very, very cool. So they're kind of using a way to trick our brain to make it see something as 3D when it's not, because our brain is very good at connecting things, right? Your brain is always looking for connections, which would be the noun. A connection is how something is joined, and to connect is to join a couple of things. In the same way that you can look at pictures of people you know, and your brain will instantly say, hey, that's Bob, that's my grandma, that's my best friend. Your brain connects those things. In this way, we're using it as an idea, something that's happening in your brain. But of course, we can also connect things in the real world. If you hold hands with someone, you're sort of connecting yourself to them. And if you plug something in, like if your phone is running out of power, you plug it in, you're connecting or joining your plug to the power to get more batteries in there. We also have this example. The two buildings are connected to each other by a path, or we might connect two sides of a river using a bridge or something like that. So back to the article, it says, so the next time you watch a 3D movie, appreciate your brain for doing all the hard work. Your brain is really the magical machine that is making all of these pictures look so real. All right, we have a wrap-up question before we say goodbye. What is the question all about?
Do you prefer watching 3D movies to regular movies? And why or why not?
That is an interesting question. Well, I will say I find watching 3D action movies so much more exciting than watching regular action movies because the cool things, the explosions, the cars, the spaceships, the superheroes just jump out and they seem much realer when you watch it in 3D. But other types of movies, like a sad drama or something, I don't really care. But I think for action movies and things, 3D is the way to go.
Yeah, for me, I just prefer regular movies.
Do you?
I liked the 3D movies when they first came out and everyone was excited about it. And then after seeing a few, I just found that it didn't add enough to my movie experience for me to go out of my way to find a theater that had the 3D movie playing.
Yeah.
And then I think it usually used to cost extra to go to the 3D movie.
Sometimes, you're right, the glasses can be uncomfortable for 2 hours.
So
That's true.
Found it wasn't worth it.
But sometimes when I watch that normal movie and they have the arrows shoot out to the camera, my brain will go, that would have looked so cool in 3D. So you're right, you have to kind of choose which one you prefer. All right, guys, now you know more about 3D movies. You can enjoy them or not with a little bit more knowledge about what exactly is going on there. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you back here soon. Until then, bye-bye. Should we reach out to the camera and 3D technology.
刚刚我们提到早期是用红蓝眼镜，但是有色眼镜总是会让电影看起来怪怪的。于是呢，现代 3D 眼镜就改用透明偏光镜片，一片镜片用来阻挡垂直光，另一片用来阻挡水平光。那大脑再次把两张照片连接起来，事物看起来就会有立体感了。好，单字 connect 这个动词它表示连结或是联系，它的名词是 connection， 就可以表达连结关联。那补充单字 polarize 这个动词它表示使偏正使极化，那文中用到它的过去分词 polarized 来当形容词，形容偏光的。那再看到 vertical 它是形容垂直的， horizontal 则是形容水平的。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，那这个段落有出现另一个跟 once 有关的片语是 once again。once again 它表示再度、再次，也可以写作这个 once more， 或者是呢直接用 again。举例来说 ，once again he left me on red， 他又再次对我已读不回。那补充一下 ，leave somebody on red 就是表达读某人的讯息而不回。好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Question: How do 3D movies work? A. By showing only images in red. B. By showing two videos at different speeds. C. By showing two images at the same time. D. By showing the same image from different distances. People like to go to the movies to see impossible things happen on the screen. 3D movies can make these things feel so real that you want to reach out and touch them. 3D technology works by showing two separate images at once. In the early days, one image was red and the other was blue. That's why audiences wore those funny red and blue glasses. The red lens blocked all the blue light, and the blue lens blocked all the red. This meant that each eye saw a slightly different image at the same time. When our brains combined the two, the movie looked like it was coming out of the screen. However, colored glasses always made movies look strange. That's why modern 3D glasses use clear, polarized lenses. For these glasses, one lens blocks out vertical light and the other blocks horizontal light. Once again, your brain connects the two pictures and makes things look three-dimensional. So the next time you watch a 3D movie, appreciate your brain for doing all the hard work.
Hey, you look busy. What are you doing? I have to present in front of the board tomorrow. I'm terrified.
Oh, you'll do great. Just bite the bullet and go for it.
Bite the bullet? How is biting a bullet supposed to help me?
No, it just means to face the problem bravely, even if it's tough.
I see. But I'm still so nervous.
Well, you have your presentation here, right? Why don't we go over it? You'll do much better if you feel confident.
Really? I think that's a great idea. Hello everyone! In today's session, we will be discussing the phrase bite the bullet.
Right. Bite the bullet is an idiom that means to endure a painful or unpleasant situation that is often unavoidable.
The phrase is believed to have originated from the battlefield, where soldiers had to undergo surgery without anesthesia and would bite on a bullet to cope with the pain.
Ouch! Thankfully, we don't have to do that anymore. Nowadays, we use this phrase to describe facing a tough situation with courage.
For example, you might say, I finally bit the bullet and scheduled that dentist appointment I've been avoiding.
Oh boy, I don't like the dentist.
Me neither.
Or she was nervous about the big speech, but she decided to bite the bullet and gave it her best shot.
Remember, it's all about facing challenges and not running away from them.
Absolutely. So next time you're in a tough spot, remember to bite the bullet and push through. You might surprise yourself with what you can endure.
And that's all for today.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.